Thanks for joining us today for this webinar on scaling up with Alexa skills. I'm Amit, founder of LabDocs. We are joined by Aditya Chennai, who is a community influencer for Amazon Alexa and has been responsible for imparting knowledge on Alexa and voice skills. So, Aditya believes in next big revolution, which is obviously voice, and he is trying to build a community of Alexa developers so that they can be a part of this upcoming transformation. So I'll quickly start and I'll set a few ground rules here. Um, so there are a few pointers that I would like to spell out. First is that please keep your mic video muted for the entire session. You can ask questions through the chat tab. We will try to answer as many questions as possible at the end of the session. If your questions are not answered today, then we will try to answer them through emails. Yeah. So and there is a recording obviously for this for the session, and we'll be sharing it with the people who are going to take the advanced workshop that is happening on 29. So I'll just quickly start with a quick introduction of LabDocs. So LabDocs is a platform that help learner acquire core engineering and entrepreneurial skills. Our platform is city and medium agnostic, meaning anyone can learn from anywhere. And our focus areas are essentially in emerging technologies like industrial automation, instrumentation and control, Industry 4.0, clean technology, drone tech, robotics, industrial IoT, life science, product innovation, and design thinking. Our idea is to help an individual to become self-reliant so that the person can become employable not only for someone else but can also work for himself or herself. So with that, I'll request Aditya to take over, and probably he can start with his introduction and probably take up and start with the webinar.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening and welcome to this webinar. And thank you, Amit and his team, for hosting me for this webinar. And I'm Aditya and I'm an Alexa student influencer. And today I will be talking to you about the voice technology and the next big thing, that's Amazon Alexa. So I will be telling you about how voice is the most revolutionary change that's happening currently in terms of how we interact with the technology. And conversational AI is how conversational AI is creating a big impact on everyday life. From simple things like Alexa, play a song, to hard complex things like controlling your entire smart home. Alexa is just getting everywhere and for everyone to use. So let's start this webinar, and I'll share a quick agenda with you on what we'll be covering in this webinar. So first we will start with evolution of user interfaces. So where we will talk about how the entire thing of human interacting with the technology started, how in past how we used to interact with technology to where we are currently heading. Then I will introduce you to Amazon Alexa and how Alexa works. We will see how technologies are working under the hood, or what exactly happens when you ask Alexa something and Alexa responds back with her voice. Now we will see what are Alexa skills and how you can make Alexa smarter by controlling and by making custom Alexa skills. Next up, we will talk about why you should build an Alexa skill, what exactly you can do with your Alexa skills, and what more you can add in your skills. Moving forward, I will tell you about the Alexa presentation language, what this term means, and what is our multimodal vision with Alexa. Then I will tell you a new field and how you can explore and introduce you to what is a voice developer and what are career options you can have by building an Alexa skill or a voice app. Then I will quickly introduce you to what is Alexa for business, and then we can have a question and answer session where you guys can ask me questions and I'll try to answer them. So without further delay, I'll start this session. So I want you to focus on this slide. So I would like to take you back to 1970s when we had something called the character mode. Now, this is how we started interacting with technology. We started with character mode, the hard pressed keyboards. You know, when you used to hit the keyboards and it used to it shows up after 2-3 minutes. From there we started, and then we had something called the graphical user interface in 1980s, where we were introduced to the Windows, the iOS, the drag, drop, and all those things. Then in 1990s, we were introduced to something called the web. Now, web was not a new thing. It was just connecting two or more GUIs together with a browser. So, but there was definitely a new milestone for us. Then in 2000s, we had something called the mobile phones, the touch phones, the Android, iOS, and Windows phones. And finally, today, we have something called the VUI, or the voice user interface. Now, why this thing is important is because it shows how everything is built on top of each other. Like we still have the keyboards, the GUIs, the web, the mobile phones, and we are taking all these things together and moving forward to the voice user interface. So let's start. So a brief history about Alexa. So Echo and Alexa was launched in 2014. And when it was launched, it created a revolution in the way we used to interact with the technology. Now, people have not seen anything like this before in real life. We all have seen the movie Iron Man, I guess, right? So the first thing that comes up in our mind when we see the movie Iron Man was the Jarvis. And obviously, we all wanted one Jarvis for ourselves. So thanks to Amazon for bringing the virtual life Jarvis into real life, and it was called as Alexa. Now, when it was launched, people were not ready to trust this technology, as it might be less secure. There were many questions, and the name was given as Alexa because Alexa has a hard consonant, the X. It helps the microphones in Alexa to detect user's voice from anywhere, if they are present in a noisy room, or even if they are present at very farther point, she can still listen, and that's why it was named as Alexa. Now, in 2015, Amazon announced something called the Alexa Fund. Now, this was $100 million investment. $100 million investment into Alexa and voice technology. Now, people were, as I said, people were not sure about this technology that can be whether it can be trusted or not. So there were few companies like Ecobee and Orange Chef who took it as a challenge and build use cases for Alexa and voice technology. Then in 2016, Alexa announced something called the Alexa Prize, which was to promote voice user interface and Alexa. So these were some of the things Amazon did to promote and help voice grow. And as of today, we are having over 1 lakh Alexa skills on Alexa Skill Store worldwide. And the amazing part is more than 30,000 skills are built by Indian developers. So this is really a very big achievement for us that we have used this voice technology and it's growing. Now meet Amazon Alexa. So the simplest way to uh, introduce you to Alexa is Alexa is a cloud-based voice service and an intelligent personal voice assistant. So what I mean by this is, obviously you can define Alexa in your way, but this is how we have defined it in very crisp and very simple way. So she's always there and helps you do things in your everyday life. Play music, book a ride, manage your to-do list, order food, and do much more things with your voice. So tell me about what would you like to do with Alexa in the chat section below, and definitely we can have something more effective created right now. All right. So moving forward is the Amazon Echo. Now, Alexa is a cloud service, but it needs a body or for a user to have the magical conversation. Now, so the hardware part of Alexa is called the Echo, and you can see how beautifully it's crafted. You can see the action button, the volume up. You can see the microphones, the woofers, the tweeters, and this is how the Echo looks like. So great. So it is always connected and it helps you connect with Alexa. Now, here are some interesting things that you can do with Alexa, like what's on my calendar. You can ask Alexa to add sugar to your shopping list. You can ask Alexa to turn on the bedroom lights. You can book a Uber, you can play music, you can set timer for 10 minutes or 1 hour. And there are so much more you can do with Alexa. Tell me what innovative questions you have for Alexa, and do should write below in the chat section. So let's move forward. Now these are three main points why voice user interface is the most attracting thing, and why people are loving this all concept of conversational AI and voice user interface. So let's start. These are whenever, however, and it's for everyone. Now, what I mean by this is you can use Alexa whenever you want, however you want, and of course, for everyone. Like for using a browser or laptop or mobile phones, you need some basic knowledge, like the cross button in right side on a Windows means close. It's there on the left in the Mac iOS. But when it comes to voice, you don't need to learn anything. All you have to say is Alexa, play music, Alexa, turn on the lights. And the fun part is you can also talk with Alexa in Hindi now. So it makes it more easy for Indian users, for local users to interact and get your work done with Alexa. Now, next is meet your customers in moment. Now, what does this mean? It means that I'll take a very simple example. There's a difference between listening to a joke and reading to a joke. Now, when you read a joke, you might be smiling, you might have some expressions, but it's sort of less. But at the same time, when you say Alexa, tell me a joke, Alexa tells you a joke, and you start laughing. So that's something which is engaging and which is more attracting, more engaging for a user. So this is what it means by meet customers in moment. Now the conversation never ends. Every time you go to Alexa, you say something, you will find something new happening to you, and that's the best part. The conversation never ends. Let's look at a very simple example. You're booking a ride on Uber. For the first time, you open Uber using Alexa, like Alexa, open Uber. So she might ask you for some details like what is your name, what is your address, and all those stuff. Next time when you come, she will say, hey, welcome back, or some other things. So it's always something new every time you ask her anything. So the conversation never ends. And these are three major points why voice technology and Alexa particularly is loved by people all around the world. Now, next up, is the technology that's working behind. So, so this is the technology that's working behind. So let's dive deep and see how exactly this happens, and what exactly happens when technology is working behind. What helps Alexa to detect and answer to a query. So it happens with something called the far field recognition. Now, see, you can see the blue ring or ring of Alexa. All right. Now, under this ring, there are 7 microphones placed in this manner, in circular format, and one in the center. Now, what happens is this 7 microphones uses a beam forming technology to detect the source of audio, and with enhanced noise cancellation she can listen to user even in noisy environment and while playing music at loud volumes. So this is how this technology this is the technology that's working behind of Alexa. Now I'll show you how this thing happens. See, you can see a user and the Alexa. Now what happens is whenever a user says Alexa, all the 7 microphones wakes up, and every 7 microphone will be having its nearest point, but we want a specific noise that's of the user. So using the beamforming technology, the first and the last microphone along with all the other 7 microphones will point at the same direction of the user. And with enhanced noise cancellation, the background noise, or even if a music is playing at loud volumes and you say Alexa stop, she will listen. So this is how Alexa is working, and technology behind Alexa is the far field recognition and the beam forming. Now, the next up is the two powerful frameworks that powers or backs Alexa's performance. Whatever you say, the magical conversation of you asking a question and Alexa replying, it happens with with these two powerful frameworks. And these two powerful frameworks are the Alexa Skills Kit and the Alexa Voice Service. Now, these are very simple things when it comes to theory, but is very complex when you dive deep. So let's dive deep and see more about these two powerful frameworks. So first up is the Alexa Skills Kit. Now, Alexa Skills Kit is an SDK. We all know what is an SDK, a software development kit. So Alexa Skills Kit is a software development kit. It comprises of all the API tools, the code samples, the documentations, and it helps developers to create wonderful voice-enabled experiences. Some amazing voice recognition capabilities, some customized skills. You got some idea, you want to build it, let's do it with Alexa Skills Kit. And next up is the Alexa Voice Service, or what we call the AVS. Now, Alexa Voice Service helps developers to add Alexa to new devices. Uh, Alexa is not limited to only Amazon manufactured devices. Any third party developer or a company can who wants to develop something, a device with Alexa, can do it. You can add Alexa to headphones, to wearables, to earphones, to speakers, and to a whole lot of things simply with AVS. So it helps developers to build Alexa enabled products. And for customers, what AVS does is it creates the amazing hands-free experience. Now, moving forward, I'll discuss about the process working behind of Alexa. Now, this seems very easy, right? So that's a user. User says something, Alexa listens, sends it to cloud, and it processes it, and it responds back. This is how the outer structure of you asking and Alexa replying works. But it's obviously not that easy. So let's see what is happening under the hood when you talk to Alexa. So this is a simple structure. I'll explain this thing, and I want you to give more attention to this slide particularly. So that's a user, right? User says something. Let's take an example, Alexa, play music. So when you say Alexa, play music, it go using the 7 microphones. The echo detects that voice of user and it sends the voice to the AVS cloud, or to the AVS server, which is hosted on obviously the Amazon Web Services. So what happens now is, using the automatic speech recognition, everything that user has said is converted into a textual format, or in more precise way, to computer language. Now, what happens is, the natural language understanding, the machine learning algorithms, all these things work together, and they try to interpret what the user has said, what user exactly wants, and then it sends the request to your backend code. Now, backend code is the programming language. All the magical stuff that you hear is stored somewhere, and that's in your backend. So once the request is made, the backend comes into the picture. It creates some logic using the machine learning trained models, your personal inputs, and it gives a response. Now this response again comes back to the AVS server. This time we want something that will convert the text into the speech. So we use the text to speech service. Then the textual format is converted into the speech thing. And now AVS will check what kind of device is it. Is it an Echo device with a display, or it's a normal Echo Dot or Echo Plus? And based on all this stuff, it will give you the output. So that's how a skill build. That's how an Alexa skill works. Uh, I would like you to have a quick look at this thing uh, before we move forward. So I'll I'll just quickly explain one more time. Here's user using the 7 microphones. It detects what user has said. Then using the automatic speech recognition, everything you said is converted into text. Then with natural language understanding, it tries to interpret what user wants and sends the request to your backend. In your backend, you will be having your logic, and based on that logic, a response is generated. The response comes back to the AVS server again. This time, the text to speech will convert. This time, the text to speech will convert the textual content into a speech format, and based on what kind of device you have, it will generate a output. So that's how Alexa skill works. Now I'll talk about what is Alexa skills. What are Alexa skills? So you might have heard Alexa skills before. Making Alexa skills, or you might not have heard. So I'll tell you about Alexa skills, what exactly it is, and how you can get started with building them. So the simplest way to explain you about Alexa skills is it is a apps. It's similar to the apps that you make on your Android phones, or on your iOS phones or your Windows phones. It's similar apps, and this is something that we call the skills. Now, a simple question to you: Will you use your Android device or iOS device without apps? A simple answer would be no. Even to call your best friend, you will need the phone application, and it is nothing but an app. So this is exactly how it works. Alexa skill Without Alexa skills, you can't use Alexa. Means obviously you can use Alexa, but it's very much limited. So what do you do in your app to install a app? Let's take a simple example of Instagram. Everyone must be having an Instagram account, right? So what do you do to install and use the application? You go to the Play Store, you search for Instagram, you click on the install button. Once it gets installed, you open it. If you like it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you simply uninstall it. Similar is the logic of Alexa skills. See, like apps enhances the device capabilities of your Android or iOS device, the Alexa skills enhances Alexa's capabilities. You have a dedicated app store on iOS and Android. Similarly, we have a dedicated Alexa skill store for all the amazing skills that you make. You install an app. Similarly, you enable a skill. You uninstall an app. Similarly, the way you disable a skill. Now, similar to App Store, you can rate, you can review, you can give feedbacks of whatever you are using, how you are liking it, you're not liking it. So this is all done on the Alexa skill store. Now, how to make Alexa skill? Like any other app, you have a front end and the back end. Similarly, in Alexa or the Alexa skill building, we have the voice interaction model, and we call it as the front end, and the programming logic, or we call it the back end. When you club these things together to build a Alexa model, or to your skill is ready to, then you can publish it. You can publish it to your skill store. You can show it to the world that you have made a simple Alexa skill or a very complex Alexa skill, whatever you like, where users can use your skill. They can test it. They can give feedbacks of how, whether they like the skill, they don't like the skill, what is exactly the situation. It's similar to Android app that you make. You have a front end, you have a back end, you connect all those things, and your skill is ready. It's very easy when it comes to theory, but obviously a bit complex. But everything has to be start, and that's how. So the front end part is something which you will be building on developer.amazon.com account. We also call it as the Amazon developer account. And the programming logic or the backend of your skill, you can make it on aws.amazon.com. And when you club these things together, your skill is ready to work. Now, let's take a very simple example. I want to build a skill that tells me about jokes, that gives me different jokes. So, what I can do is I can design a front end, like what users can ask to my skill, like tell me a joke, give me a joke, get a joke, another joke. So, all these things are my front end. And I will design a backend for my skill. That's the coding part. I will code the programming logic. Then I will connect these things, and my skill is ready. And my skill will be telling joke. So next thing is something called. I'll introduce you to a new thing that's called the Alexa hosted skills. Now we have a voice user interaction model and the programming logic all happening on two different accounts. But Amazon introduced something called the Alexa hosted skill, where you can develop your front end and back end at the same developer account. you don't need to toggle between your tabs to switch from front end to developer account to AWS account. But there are very limited things that you can do with Alexa hosted skills. Like currently, it only supports Node.js and the Python. Obviously, most of the developers are using these two as their backend language for making Alexa skills. But still, if you are building your skill on Java or some other programming language, you will still need the AWS account or some other hosting platform to host your backend. And yeah, for checking the errors, you will still need the AWS CloudWatch, which will eventually take you to the AWS account. But for starters and people who want to explore with voice technology, this is the best thing you have, the Alexa hosted skill. Don't worry about going to backend part for AWS account. You can simply do it with Alexa hosted skill. Now you just saw what is an Alexa skill, how to make one, but the biggest question still there is, why should I make an Alexa skill? Why should I build an Alexa skill? So let's just find out why you should build an Alexa skill. So the first reason is because we are moving towards a voice first world. Now, voice is not only the future, it's now. As voice recognition continues to grow and Alexa becomes more intelligent, you need to understand how Alexa skills fit into your life and in your business. Take it very simple things like Alexa, turn on the lights or turn off the light, to very complex things like Alexa, turn off the microwave or set the temperature to 10 degrees or controlling your smart home. So we are moving towards a voice first world. So that's why you should definitely get your hands dirty, build some good custom high quality skills, show to the world, and that's the best thing. That's why you should go out and build some Alexa skills. And one of the best ways to get in front of potential customers today are Alexa skills and the voice apps. Now, I'll explain it very briefly. Getting your name out there is one of the hardest but most beneficial things that you can do in your life for yourself. I guess everyone is convinced with this particular thing that everyone wants to be there and everyone wants to do something out of the box. So uh, the competition in voice tech is less now, and you have a good chance to stand out, and this can give you a amazing start for as a student, as a professional, and someone looking for to expand, looking for a new explore new technology and some new areas. Go and hit the voice app field or the voice technology. You will be definitely be uh, over the top. So, and the best part is you can make money out of your skill. You can gain more customers or users on your skills and earn money out of your skill. Now, how can you do this? It's simple. You can do it using the in-skill purchasing. You can say you can give your customers some subscriptions. You can give it as a one-time purchase. You can use it as a consumables, whatever suits you. You can make something very out of the box thing, like in skill. What in skill purchasing actually means is, with in skill purchasing you can sell premium content. For example, a game feature. You're building a quiz game, and you want to give some hint, so you can ask your customers to buy a plan that will give you 2 hints or some more extra hints. So this is a simple idea of how you can use Alexa skills in making money. So This is how you can make interactive stories. You can add custom interaction models and build high quality Alexa skills with in skill purchasing, and definitely customers will use it, customers will love it. So this is how you can use Alexa skills to make money. Now, so this is why you should build a skill. For I'll go back. We are moving towards a voice first word, best way to engage with customers today and make money. These are three most important things why you should go out, you should build Alexa skills. Now, moving forward, I'll talk about the next topic, that's multimodal vision. A simple question to you: what do you think? How would a screen enhance customers' experience with Alexa? Will it there were many questions like, will it distract the user, will it attract them, what will customer think about a speaker only device moving towards a screen only device? So let's see what customers came up with. And customers love the complementary visual content that shows up in your Echo devices. Now, an example would be something like a weather skill. When you say, Alexa, what's the weather? She'll tell you about the weather. She'll tell you about the weather, and it's probably it. But with screen device, she can show you some more details like chances of precipitation or weather forecast for next few days. So, or what is the temperature outside. Now, these are some extra things that Alexa will be showing you. And if you are interested, you can go hit the buttons, or you can ask Alexa more about the things show that's popping up. It's engaging for users and ambient. Like, if it's there, you don't need to compulsorily interact with it. If you like it, you just interact with it, and if you don't like it, you can simply skip it. Now, second one is visuals that simplify interactions. What does this mean is, let's take a simple example of Zomato skill. When you use a Zomato skill in a speaker only device, what will happen is, you will be listening to it, but you will be listening to it, but it's hard. Like you said, Alexa, show me some restaurants near me. So Alexa will be talking out, this is the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. But by the time it go to the fifth one, you might forget the first and second. So it basically is making no sense. So with screen only device, what you will have is, you will have a simplified interaction. All the five restaurants will be shown up in order, and you can directly select whatever looks best for you. Now, this is how you can engage with most of the customers. Now, next up is ambient experiences. What does this mean is, it's there on your home screen. You don't need to interact compulsorily. Like, Alexa, play a song. It will be there on your screen. You don't need to answer it particularly. But if you like it, you can simply ask it, and you can get your conversation going. And the rich media experiences, like the kitchen skill, where you can build some good kitchen recipes, or some video skills to your skill. And this is what people thought about the multimodal vision. All right, so we came up with something called the Alexa presentation language, or we call it as the APL. Now, what APL brings is, it is what exactly, how to get started. So it is, APL is a design language that you can customize, you can lay out your UI in any way you want, and then integrate it with your skill. So that's the simplest way of APL. It's a design language where you can customize, design, layout, build your own UI, and then integrate it with your skill. So it's customizable. Bring your hand, bring your brand, bring do something more effective, create something, lay out your all design, and bring something. Now, next thing you can do with is you can adapt it to different kind of Alexa devices, like the Echo Show or Echo Spot or other Alexa devices. Like I'll go back. This slide, it's a Echo Show device, and this is a Echo Spot. Now, the details on Echo Show is much more when compared to that on Echo Spot, because we have a wide screen, a large screen, and in Echo Spot we have a very small screen. So the intensity of information that can be shared has to be very low and very clear. So that's why we have this. It's adaptable. You can it's device friendly. For Echo Show you can design it customizably. For Echo Spot, so this is how the multimodal vision brings to us, and it's available on all Alexa enabled devices. So you can build, you can show it to everyone over all Alexa enabled devices, not only manufactured by Amazon, but also by a third party. And you have the unique multimodal experiences with Alexa. All right, so we talked about Alexa skills, Alexa presentation language, why you should build an Alexa skill. But how can this help you in your career? That's the biggest question asked to me every time I do a workshop or a webinar. So I'll try to answer it in the simplest way possible. And let's talk about what are career opportunities you have as building Alexa skills and as a voice app developer. So if you are an engineering student or a new developer or a working professional looking for a new area to explore, so let's look at some career opportunities in voice technology. So back then we had these two trends. It's called the Android development and the iOS development. Now, what I mean with this is, I don't mean that this is not the trend now, but what I mean by this is now there are thousands, in fact, millions of Android and iOS developers out there. And so the next big thing that's happening for developers, for backend developers, for coders, for those who want to explore with technology, is this thing. This is the next big thing that's happening, and it's called the voice app developer. Voice app developer is simple. Developer who design, build, and create voice-enabled experiences for customer. There are thousands or there are many voice assistants out there in the market. You can grab the best opportunity you have right now. You can build something for Alexa and show it to the world. Now, now it's a time where companies, where brands, where everyone is realizing the importance and learning the voice and conversational AI. And everyone wants to start early. Brands want their Alexa skill for for their company, for their working. They are searching for developers who can do it for them. And definitely a voice app developer is the next promising field to start your careers with. Now, many experts assume that smart speakers become more and more popular. Businesses have Businesses may have to pay for making the skill. Some people also predict that you may be able to pay to make your Alexa skill. Now, this is the time. when you can dive in, you can just get your hands dirty, you can try in voice technology, you can try creating basic apps, then try to investigate more, try to explore more and build something more customizable for your customers. Now there are many industry challenges in voice tech. I'll take very simple thing. The voice app development looks very simple in theory, but trust me, it's very much challenging when it comes to implementing. I've been a voice developer for last 2 years, and I've developed many voice apps for companies, for myself individually. And what I have learned is, it's when it comes to theory or telling people that yeah, you can go and start off with voice app, but it is complicated. So it's better to start early, but the best thing is it's something that you will never get bored of. There's always new areas to explore, new things to try, and there are many unexplored areas in voice tech. And this is the best time if you are as a student or a working individual. It has a very promising future as a voice developer. There are many companies looking for voice developers, and if you have you can build a voice app. It will be really good for you in the future. So that's what you can start off with voice technology, with building voice enabled experiences for Alexa, and this will definitely take you help you in the longer run. Now I will give you a quick intro to what is Alexa for Business. Now, there are many work professional or business people who are investigating about this particular thing, the conversational AI. Now, how I will quickly briefly explain you about Alexa for Business. So, Alexa for Business is a service that enables organizations and employees to use Alexa in their workspace to get more things done. Now, with Alexa, you can be more productive in your meeting rooms. Like, you can schedule a meeting, you can say Alexa start the meeting, and everything will be automatically turned on. People will be automatically added to it, the slides will be showed up, and all the other things that you need, you can plan it, and everything will be automatically turned on as soon as you say Alexa to start the meeting. You can easily deploy and operate in your workspace. You can install the Echo devices, you can operate it anywhere from your workspace, and it enhances your employee productivity. You can check on your employees how what exactly your employees are doing, how productive they are doing in their work. You can check your own productivity. You can create your own voice application for your business. Now, I'll simply explain one more thing of how this thing works. So, whenever a user makes a request, it goes to the AVS server. From AVS server, it goes to your Alexa for business scale. It takes all the context and information. Then it goes to your programming logic, and again it comes back and user gets the request. A simple example will be when someone in your organization is asking something like, uh, for example, Alexa, start the meeting. Now, what happens is Alexa uses the location of your device, the calendar information for the room, and the type of video conferencing equipments available. Now, all these details will be stored on your Alexa for Business account. From the Alexa for Business account, Alexa will fetch this information and put it to your backend code. Then your backend code will apply the logic, the programming logic that you have designed, and Alexa will respond to it. So that's how Alexa for Business looks like. And hopefully you will be trying it. For more details, I'll share this quick link with you. You can go to this link. It's aws.com/Alexa for Business. You can find more details for Alexa for Business on this particular slide. And moving forward is the last thing that I want you to explore more. I want you to explore more with voice technology, with Alexa. And the best way to do it is by building Alexa skills and building more complex skills. And how you can do it is by attending Alexa workshops. Alexa workshops are designed for you to start working with voice development. And one such workshop is happening on 28th at your place, Pune. Amit and his team from LabDocs is organizing the workshop, and you will definitely, you should definitely have a go join the workshop, explore more about the voice technology, get your hands dirty, try building Alexa skills, get your queries solved by uh, experts, and there itself in the workshop. Many of you must be wondering, you have all the resources to try with, but still, if there's a person who can help you build more skills, more complex Alexa skills, so you should definitely have a look at it. So go attend the workshop, and this will definitely help you building, Alexa enabled experiences and create more promising voice app for Alexa and for the community of all the Alexa developers out there. So thanks everyone for joining this webinar, and let's connect. I'm Aditya. I'm an Alexa student influencer for Amazon Alexa. And this is what I believe, and I'm trying to build a community of Alexa developers. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can shoot me mail at my personal email, that's adichanne@yahoo.in. I'll be happy to solve your queries. If you have some ideas, let's connect. Let's build something more effective that will be satisfying to both you as well as to entire community of voice developers out there in the world. So thanks so much for joining this webinar, and it's time for question and answer sessions. So if you have any questions, shoot it on the chat section and I'll try to answer them.
Great, Aditya. I mean, it's fascinating to know about the Alexa and how it functions and what are the building blocks of an Alexa device, and how it is really changing the life of it. So we have received quite a number of questions, and I'll try to put them. So we have received through chats and through our through emails. So one which was asked by Avinash. So he has asked a technical question. He is asking that can we use Python script for developing Amazon Alexa apps or skills?
All right. So yeah, you can use Python scripts for building Alexa skills. You can explore more with Python. There is a dedicated Python SDK for Alexa skills. So yeah, you can do it.
All right, great. The next question from Alicia. She has asked, what kind of cloud assistant do we get for Alexa?
Cloud Assistant. I mean, Alexa itself is assistant, and you can host it on AWS cloud or any other cloud of your choice. So I guess that answered the question.
I think she's actually asking and probably trying to learn about the credit from AWS that is developing in Alexa skill.
Hello, I guess it's not audible. Can you repeat the question?
So I'm assuming that she's trying to find out if there is any AWS credit for developing a Alexa.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you have when you build skills, you get free AWS credits. Like the service, the backend code is hosted on AWS Lambda, and Lambda is a free service. But yeah, to integrate the databases like DynamoDB, you will need the credit. And yeah, Amazon provides AWS cloud credits for making good skills and as you explore more in Alexa.
All right, great. Now there is this question from Vivek. He's trying to find out more business solution for his probably his skills and business idea. So he has asked, what kind of voice presence for a brand can be developed to drive engagement?
Awesome, great question. So for brands, right now there are very few brands who are working on Alexa skills. Obviously, the number is huge as well, but you can try. Yeah, you can build engaging voice-enabled experiences for your particular brand. Like you can get a conversation, something that keeps on. Asking something means the conversation should not stop, something very engaging, something that's that's people are more engaging with, like you can shoot them simple questions, you can have more complex more looking things, but put it on a simple way. Keep it simple is what I think for a brand to success in making Alexa skills.
Great, great, Aditya. Thanks for that. As you have rightly put up that, whatever theory or whatever you can learn or see online will not help you unless until you put your hands and you keep your hands dirty, make your hands dirty while developing a skill. So that is the reason that we have organized one workshop on 29th, and it's an advanced workshop in which we are trying to cover up all the concepts that are relevant as of now for developing APLs, and what are intents, what are slots, how can you start with it, how do you modify speech with SSML. So I would request the participants to go through the content and try to join and try to share the message amongst their communities and to their network, so that it becomes a Pune. We can develop Pune as a community where we have people developing a lot of engaging content for Alexa. So that is what I would request to all, and I would once again thank you, Aditya, and to all the participants for taking out time and helping us to learn about Alexa.
Yeah, thanks Sabit for hosting this wonderful webinar. And Pune, get your hands dirty, build some Alexa skills, and let's show it to the world.
Great, thank you so much, Aditya, and thank you guys. So until we meet again, good night and signing off from now.